Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you're perking good. So, update on Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and Oprah interview. We already did a part 1 to this. It is in the description box below if you want to find the link to that video. But just a couple days ago, we did a live stream where live with all of you, we looked into some other questions that came up for you and got some interesting answers, to say the least. So we're about to roll that footage here so you can see that. But first, I just want to go ahead and say I am a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive. And in these videos, we take a look at the tea with the tarot. These videos are always meant to be helpful, not hateful. So if you are down with that, join the family. We'd love to have you, and subscribe. That's how you join the family. And make sure you're still subscribed if you thought you are. This is what the notification bell should look like if you're going to get notified of videos, but please check back on my profile because YouTube drops the ball. Here's the join button. If you want to be a part of the Perk Squad, Perk Squad has 5 extra perks. You get access to custom emojis. You get access to badges that are colorful and they're by your name when you comment. So we get to see how long you've been a Perk Squad member. You get exclusive posts, exclusive videos, and you get shout outs. There's a lot of Perk Squad shout outs up in this video, so you're about to see that. Going ahead, and I'm pushing record already, so I've already clicked record, and let me go ahead and take myself to my normal recording me screen so I can have all my stuff down there. And with this, I wanted to first go over some of the things that happened in the first video that I did of this, and just kind of reiterate some stuff. So there were some people in my video about Harry and Meghan and Oprah that were saying, like, but about, about Meghan, your reading said this, and I was wondering about this, like, has she ever been mean to staff? There's some rumors and things like that. Are those things true? And I just want to remind that the reading said very specifically, she's not as bad as people make her out to be in terms of being the devil of something. She's not the devil that people make her out to be, but she's also not a saint either, the reading said. And the reading said that she has the type of personality that is too strong to fit into a very structured, conservative, traditional background like a royal family. So if there are things about her that come off as being not so great because they're related to her having a very, big personality that doesn't fit well with being a worker bee in a royal structure, then there you go. The reading did say that. So just to clarify, that does fit into the purview of what my reading said. Then also, at the end, it gave me the Hierophant card about the person who made the comment about bringing up concerns around skin color of future children. And because of that card, I was like, that's the crown. So to me, it's like representing the queen. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't think the queen would have said that. And I don't know. Here's the thing, though. From that, in the reading, it did give me the 3 of Pentacles in reverse to say that there were more than one people that had that concern and thought that way, and that were bringing that up. There was not just one person. So from my cards, it made it seem like there were several family members having some internal discussions about, well, what about how this is going to affect the skin color of the kids, or something like that, some sort of internal discussions around that, and that the queen, being the mouthpiece of the family, the head of the family, may have had to bring that discussion to Harry, may have had to, again, this is all alleged, may have had to be the one to kind of be a mouthpiece for the family and bring this to the table. Does that mean that there weren't any extra side conversations? If I were Harry and my grandma was like, hey, there's been some family members who had concerns about this and this and that, I'd be like, who said that? Find out, and I would be over there talking to that person one-on-one, like, you said what now? So it's very possible that could have happened. And as Sierra Bird says here, because we're live right now, so as Sierra Bird says here, it could be the crown as in the establishment / the group. There was a family component, because that 3 of Pentacles in the reverse position meant that it was not just one person who had that concern. So, just throwing all of that out there for what that's worth. So, some of the questions based on that y'all kind of were having, and I tried to synthesize it into a couple short categories, because I knew if I was going to do a reading here live that it wouldn't be able to be one of those 45-minute long readings. I would need to do something that was a little bit shorter and more succinct if I could. And so I was going to ask, based on the questions that I got from y'all in the comments, 1, was there any type of intentional or accidental manipulation in the interview at all, and if so, what? And then, is something bad going to happen to Harry or Meghan because of this? Any kind of retribution or anything because of this? So I'm gonna ask those questions, because those kind of seem to encompass a lot of the little questions that I was getting in the comments. So that's what we're going to take a look at here. Because remember, when I was pulling cards on what is the reason behind this interview? What was the reason that they did this interview? I kept getting reasons, and I kept getting reasons, and I kept getting reasons. And so I remember in the reading, I said, there's probably a lot more reasons than this. We could pull on this all day, but we need to move on. And so now we've got a little bit more time. We can pointedly ask, out of all the many reasons, because it seemed to be very complicated, very complex, lots of reasons of why they wanted to do the interview. We can specifically ask, are any of those reasons accidentally or intentionally manipulative reasons? And I think that'll get it the answer of some of the people that were wondering. So we'll take a look at that. And we are live here again, so I'm gonna go pull up the cards right here, and we will move this microphone right here. Okay, and just because I haven't gotten to say any of my setup lately, I am gonna say I invoke the 4 elements: fire, earth, air, and water. I invoke the spirit guides, angels, archangels, and light beings surrounding me now. I invoke the spirit of Gaia and my higher self, and I ask that all of these positive energies, entities, and beings come to me now and assist me in this co-created process of pulling cards for the highest good of all sentient kind. Please allow me to pull the most accurate cards and to read them in the most accurate way for the highest good of all. Thank you. Love you, guides. All right, so let's look at this, get some last little bits of context on this to add to the other reading that I already did. So this just adds, this is just a little addition to that. So, was there any type of intentional or accidental manipulation in reasoning behind doing this interview? And if so, give us some insights about that, spirit guides. Okay. Okay. So, without even getting any more context on this, I'm seeing that there's some things that people could have taken as being potentially manipulative. So, 1, here we're talking about the castle. We see that in the background. We're talking about leaving and walking away, which is what they did. And this judgment card being in the reverse position. And so when we're looking at this, this is kind of saying that having left, there are some emotions that they know that Harry and Meghan would know that the family would be feeling. And in some ways, what they were doing with the interview could play with those emotions a bit. I don't think that they were intending to, like, be rude or mean or fuck with them or anything like that. I'm not getting that out of this. But I am getting, like, here's an example. You know how if you're wanting to get your way with something, you might say some things that kind of make people feel a little bit bad or a little bit guilty or a little bit regretful or a little bit, whatever, because it would help you be like, oh, woe is me, and this saying this will make you feel some kind of thing for me. So there looks like there might be an element here of kind of guilting some certain emotions from family. I don't think that was done in a malicious, intentional way. From what I'm looking at here, it does not to me feel malicious, but it does seem like it's kind of that it could be considered a manipulation. So that is one thing. Here up top, we're seeing this Two of Pentacles. Y'all know when I get this, sometimes we're talking things that can come off feeling like contracts. I don't know. I doubt there was a contract to do the interview. I don't know how any of that shit works. But I do know that there's something monetarily, financially, that could be of benefit, or contractually could be of benefit, or something like that. And so just by seeing that, there could potentially be something there. Let's look a little bit more into that real quick. Yep, wanting to push forward for something that could be either contractual or financial, because they feel like they're not getting what they want, because they feel like they were iced out. Okay, so because they felt like the family pushed them out, cut them off, then they feel like they need to find ways to have the type of, I guess, lifestyle that they feel like they want to be accustomed to. And because of that, there looks like there's something contractually or financially that could come out of this interview. Again, I'm not getting like really, really horrible, like sinister, devilish vibes from this, but it does seem to suggest that there could be something. Now, what I've heard is they were not paid to do the interview. I heard that. But there could have been something in it for them that could somehow pay off financially, or somehow help create contracts or further contracts or things like that. So it looks like there could have been something like that to gain from this as well. It does not seem like that was their only reason. Again, when I did the first video, it named off a lot of reasons, and I said we could keep going. So right now, we're just specifically asking if there's any reasons that could come off as intentionally or unintentionally manipulative. And that's what it's looking like. So there's something here financially, tangentially, that could be beneficial. I don't know if this is a publicity thing, like, oh, just by publicly talking about them and what they're involved in, then things could be, could make money or whatever. Kind of like how people do product placements and stuff in videos sometimes, where they're like, oh, just put my candle and my brand in your background and people will see it and then they'll want to go towards it. I don't know. But, there's just shit like that some kind of there's something around finance or contracts or something that could have some sort of a benefit. But I see that as being one reason of many that we had already talked about of why they would have wanted to do the interview and chose to do the interview. With this looking like that, that's not direct payment. So I don't know what this is. It's not like they directly got paid for this. So I don't know what it is. Anywho. Okay, so trying to move forward with this. Anything else that could possibly be accidental or intentional manipulation from doing this. Let me move these up here and I'll ask down here. Anything else that we might want to say on that? Okay. This Four of Cups can sometimes mean pettiness. So there could be a little bit of pettiness there that could have come across as manipulative. Again, I'm not entirely sure how how thought out this was. Let me go ahead and say, this is all alleged and just my interpretation. I know it's on the screen, but I just like to say it. All alleged, just my interpretation. Petty. I see something being petty with that. Now, the Moon card in reverse and the Justice card next to it. Here's something this is kind of taking it a little step further. Didn't plan on it going further than the question I asked, but you know, if it's coming up here, whatever, fuck it, we'll talk about it. This is talking about something coming to light and there's something legal around it. So when I say legal, contracts can mean legal. There can be legal stuff in contracts. There can be legal stuff in business ventures. There can be legal stuff in lots of different aspects around career, finance, foundations, all this stuff. So there's some sort of there's something that looks like it would start coming out or be exposed, that there could be some tie to what they were hoping to get from this or could get from this, and that could come out, and it could make people kind of like be like, really, you know, if people knew what this was. And again, I'm saying they've done it looks like they had done this interview for lots of reasons. We talked about plenty in my last video. This is just specifically asking about any potential manipulative things. So I know that this could be controversial, but there's something that looks like it's either coming out or it is already out there that could show some sort of potential financial gain or potential contractual gain or visibility or something like that. Things that legally are set in place. So it is interesting that there's something like that coming up. So I do see that there's some things that they could gain by some sort of exposure. I don't know. This is by having that exposure from the interview, that could help them in gaining something. So that was one factor of many in this, allegedly. So, okay. Anything else that they want us to know about potential stuff, manipulative stuff, having to make a decision about how to move forward on this and what to say? Okay, so you're having to make a decision how to move forward on this, what to say, and you're kind of, so this is kind of saying like they were careful in how they worded things. Now, obviously, you would imagine that anybody royal would be careful in what they say. But this looks like specifically they would say certain things and not talk about other things, or put certain things out there and not say other things, so that they could upplay certain things and downplay other things. That being said, yes, that's going to come up here as being manipulative. However, technically speaking, most of us do that. We play up what people want. We want people to know, and we play down what we don't want people to know. It is a manipulative tactic, but it is something that a lot of people do. So take that as it is. So putting that in here. So with that, let's go ahead and pull these up and take a look at the other questions. And I'm just going to look up at my screen and give a random couple of shout outs to people as I'm shuffling. So shout out to Terry Moore and shout out to Aaron M. Those are two people that I see that are Perk Squad members right here as I'm looking up, and I'm wanting to give some shout outs to y'all for being Perk Squad members. So video shout out to Perk for you. Okay, so let's look at this. Since we were saying that there were various people in the family that had some potential thoughts about skin color or things like that, and it seems like they kind of as a family presented to have a conversation around that. Who in the family did that originate from, or where did that originate from? Borkin. Can you keep them quiet? Lord, borks. This might get cut out. This might get cut out of the video. If they bork too bad and too loud. But anyway, we want to find out who originated that concern, if we're allowed to know. I don't know if we're going to get that. Spirit was very choosy in how they talked about it in the last one. Oop. Okay, in terms of who originated that, God bless it. In terms of who originated the statement, where the statement was probably discussed by several family members. The previous reading said the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So discussed by several family members and most likely presented by the head of the family. So most likely presented by Her Majesty the Queen herself. But it seems like the concerns in terms of originating, we're getting, just putting it out there, we're getting 3 cards with males on them. This card is someone that would have had like this is someone handing something to someone. It's a role where you can give things to people. So it would be someone high enough that they are able to kind of give things to people, not somebody that's like an ancillary side tangential member that can't really do much. So this is somebody that is more capable. This is somebody that has some sort of money and sway and things of that nature. So somebody that has access to that. It's somebody that has a bit of an estranged relationship with either Harry or Meghan or both, because this is the Lover's card in reverse. A strained relationship with somebody that felt like they needed to tell the truth, or say what's on their mind, speak up, basically. And this is somebody that they would have had an emotional connection with, but again, this is laying low, not having as strong of a connection right now. So it seems like, from what I'm seeing, that it's the originator of these concerns was most likely someone who is higher up in the family, someone who is male, someone who is having not the best relationship with either Harry, Meghan, or both. And that this person looks like they discussed with other family members their concern, and this concern had to be brought to Harry. So, but is there more about this that we're not knowing? Is there more about this that we're not knowing? And what do we need to know about it? Honestly. Like, oh. Here we go again with that Hierophant card that we talked about. See, here's the thing. Here's the Hierophant card again. So to me, it's looking like they don't want to credit the Queen with having been the one to broach this conversation, because they don't see it as being the Queen's fault. It's like, no, these other people that had this little murmuring, it was them, and this was a mouthpiece. So for having to kind of bring up discussion and talk about it as head of family. So it seems like they're just wanting to make sure nobody targets her about this, because it doesn't seem like it's super started there. Also, from what I'm looking at, it's interesting. This is like thinking some type of way about that conversation, but this is about hidden fears and worries and agendas and motives. And here we have a Queen of Wands, a woman here. So to me, this kind of looks like, how do I put this? This looks like it was more of a slam against Meghan than like the kids. So it's not like being like, oh, well, what are the kids gonna look like? It's almost like, okay, let's just imagine this. I'm just trying to put this into words. God, it's so hard, but I'm seeing pictures in my mind. I'm seeing the picture of here you are, and here's the person that you love, and your family member. When you bring the person you love to them, your family member to you is like, well, what about how this is going to affect what your kids are going to be like? you would be mad, but not about the kids. You'd be mad because you'd feel like you just dissed my person. You just, like, so there's some sort of this hit a hidden, not a hidden, but like a deep within, like this is an emotional depth, like an emotionally deep nerve as it relates to this woman. So to me, it's kind of like there's a protective, like, excuse you, how dare you talk about my woman kind of a thing. There's some kind of a thing there. So I don't know. Not that the topic being racial is not an issue, because that part is obvious. I feel like we don't have to state that. But I'm talking about how this landed seems more about feelings or concerns or something. I don't know. This is hard to explain. I hope you get what I mean. This is what I'm saying. Hope you get what I mean. So anyway, I'm seeing that. And so, yeah, again, how I mentioned with this is keeping things quiet and close to the vest. This card is literally a card that comes up for the queen all the time. So to me, there's some, we're protecting her because it's not her fault, kind of thing. Like, that's what I'm seeing here. So that does bring a little extra context and clarity to the question we were wondering in the last video. So, I mean, and this is hard. Like, I can go through as much context as I can. That video was 45 minutes long of me collecting context, but there's always going to be more context. Sometimes when we get context, then it opens even more doors. It's like it closes a window and opens a whole new ass door, and we're like, oh, we got something else to wonder now. So we end up with more questions based on that. So that's what we're doing here, is just diving into the further questions based on that. So the last one that I have here, y'all, what are y'all saying in the chat? Oh, y'all are all saying hello to Silver Wolf. Yes, I knew that you thought you wouldn't be able to come because of being at work today. So nice to see you here. Welcome. Okay, so the last question here that I have is something bad going to happen? Well, actually, hold on. Before I ask if something bad's going to happen to Harry and Meghan because of this, I did mention at the beginning of this that y'all had questions on Meghan has been alleged to have said some nasty things or done some nasty things, mean, rude things or whatever to people or staff or members of the royal family, or I don't know. I don't know if she's mean or rude or whatever. So y'all had questions about did she ever do anything that would be considered mean or rude to any of them, or is that all made up to trash her? So let's see. Y'all, just from this little bit here, it seems like the rumors are worse than what was real. I see with this, let's look at this card. This is a very important point to this. In this card, there's a lot of cups. There's 7 cups. And mostly they're good cups. But here's a snake in that one. And here's a freaking demon dragon in that one. So there are some bad cups in here, but there's some good cups in here too. And that's kind of what this is saying. We're seeing both female cards here in the upright position. So it's saying that it's a mix here. It's like she could have had some not so good days or not so good moments here and done some petty things, some rude things, some mean things, some bossy things. That's true. But I'm not seeing it as a full, sweeping, horrible, again, I'm not getting the whole, she's a devil and everything about her is bad and she's taking the whole thing down and, like, I'm not seeing it be that horrible. Our Tower card is in reverse, so this is an internal thing. So to me, again, it seems like she had the wrong type of personality to try to be fitting into something like this, because it seems like she still wanted to be this Nine of Pentacles. This is a career woman, working hard, making your money, doing good for yourself, making a name out of yourself. And it looks like she wanted to be that, and she walked away from it, left it, just to not receive these gifts that she thought she would receive, universal gifts. Like, oh, this isn't what I thought it would be. This isn't quite how I thought it would go. Like, it looks like she was less prepared than she should have been or could have been, and that her goals, her personality, and her goals in life do not jive with being a servant of the crown. And so that's what I said in my previous video, and I'm sticking with that based on this. Can she have a nasty streak in her? This is looking like, yeah. But is she guilty of being every horrible bad thing that any tabloid ever said about her? I'm not seeing that as being all true. I'm just not. So I'm putting that out there. All right, so now we'll get with that last question here, where is anything bad going to happen to Harry and Meghan because of this? Anything bad going to happen to them because of this? I look down at the chat for a second, and I see Danny T writing Meghan if she was nasty. And I know he's answering someone that's like, what are we talking about in here? And he's saying up here, the royals talking about Meghan if she was nasty or not. And it's hilarious because that's what I looked up and saw. Susie Cusey, welcome back to the Perk Squad. Re-up and rejoining Perk Squad. Welcome back. Susie Cusey, 926. Okay, so is something bad going to happen to Harry or Meghan because of this? All right, let's see. Okay. If any of y'all who watch this video, whether you watch it live or in replay, would like to have a private reading with me, my website is in the description box below. We dig through things to get context, so if you need some help with some stuff, we can do that. All right. So, anywho, about something bad going to happen to them over this. There are some disturbing cards in here, I'm going to say. Let me get some context on this one. Okay. Context over here. Context over here. Context over here. Okay. So, this is what I'm seeing. It looks like on one hand, the interview would gain them some stuff. This is a card about money and career and pushing forward in those kind of ways. So it looks like this interview would have gained them a lot. Even if it's gaining them attention, and by gaining them attention, people start looking into the stuff that they do, and that somehow contributes to them financially. Staying relevant, whether you're relevant in a good way or a bad way, tends to keep people getting money. Tends to keep people getting opportunities and money because they're of focus. So that's what happens. So I am seeing that here, that they're going to get something good out of this. That being said, this female card coming up here, which I'm feeling is representing Meghan, I'm getting it on top of this Page of Pentacles in reverse. So this does mean that there could be something that she hopes to do or wants to do, and this interview could actually have gotten in the way of that. So I know that they've probably gained a lot of either respect from people or empathy from people through the interview, but I do see that there were some potential things that as a result of this could affect some things for her. I'm not really seeing Harry quite as heavily affected as her, which y'all get to determine whether you feel like that's fair or not fair. I see this stuff here about stress and anxiety and worry as we have the High Priestess card on it. This card came up in the reading that we did earlier with them and around her a lot. So it's kind of talking about her continuing to have some internal struggles. So some mental health challenges and struggles around anxiety and stress and things of that nature. I think that I don't know what kind of help she's getting in terms of mental health assistance, but if she's not, it could benefit her. And I'm not saying that to be cruel or rude, because technically we all could benefit from it. I'm a counselor. I get therapy. I mean, fuck. Down here, Chariot card in reverse, Strength card on top of this. This is kind of saying that this is kind of creating a bit of a divide, because there's going to be some people that feel much more empathy for them based on this, and there's going to be some people that are like, are you fucking kidding me that y'all did this? Oh, woe are you, multimillionaires, and talking about all the bad things that happened to you. So there's going to be people that think both ways. Both of which are valid, and pieces of both can be true at the same time. And I'm seeing that kind of play here. You see this black versus white, like this two ends of the color spectrum here, talking about this whole range of things, the whole gamut of things can happen. This card here worries me, because this is kind of like celebrity status here. This is Emperor card in reverse with the Knight of Swords in reverse. There could be some sort of payback based on this, because this Emperor card is either talking about a specific male or talking about like career stuff in general, or a specific form of career, type of career, genre of career, whatever. I'm seeing something here that looks like there could be some backlash or some problems based on this. So how do I put this? What this makes me feel like is, you say something bad about the royals and the royal family, and the royal family knows how to protect themselves, and you might not be on the good side of that. So it's kind of saying that it's like, to the world that doesn't feel like the royal family is should be a big deal and it should be modernized or disbanded, those people are going to really rally together in their corner. But it's looking like for the systems that still support the monarchy, they might need to be careful and tread lightly, because we know how the media works, right? If you do stuff that doesn't tread lightly and they know that they can make headlines out of you, people know how to be good sleuths. They know how to dig through everything and find things that make you look bad, find things that can be damning, find things that cast a bad light on what you do, to highlight the bad things and cover up the good things. That kind of stuff happens, and I'm seeing that as a potential future issue if they're not careful. There could be some ugliness exposed or things twisted or whatever, but I do see quite a big group of rallying of support, so that's a positive. It was enough to get them the Strength card, so good on that. But yeah, this is what I'm seeing from the cards here. I've been doing this for 37 minutes now, so I'm gonna wrap this up, and I will do an outro later, I guess. And I'll put this recording up for anybody who didn't get to attend this live and don't want to watch the whole damn thing just to get to the reading. So I'll do that for those people. Yes. Alright, let me stop this recording right now. Alrighty, y'all. What do you think? What are y'all's thoughts? Spill them in the comments below. If you'd like reading with me, a private reading with me, also in the description box below, just go to my website, BeasTalksAndTarot.com, and you can schedule it yourself right here and right now. You don't even need me to help you. And yeah, let's see how all this plays out. Best of luck to everybody, because Lord, this world's getting crazy. I will be coming back at you with a video later this week, and don't be a stranger. Come back and see me. I will talk at you later. Bye. Love you, mean it. Bye. Love you, mean it.